All right, Algebra 4, here we go. Now let's go to part C. So we talked about arithmetic sequences, and we talked about the formula that we use to solve it. And so let's start off with the formula. And the formula is AN equals A1 plus parentheses N minus 1 D. Okay, so we know that arithmetic sequences are a series of numbers that have a common difference. Excuse me. That have a common difference in front of them and in back of them, and they're in a consecutive order. So let's go ahead and look at the first series of numbers. And just for a reference, we're talking about 12-3 reteach. Still that front page. And let's look at the first example here. So if you have page 22, that's what I'm pretty much working from. So we're here and we're looking at number 4 and 5. All right, so here's our first example. And we're going to find the 10th term. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the difference in the common difference that they share. So we go from 10 to 4, so that's 6. And then we go from 4 to -2, which is -6. And then -2 to -8 gives us -6. And there we have it. So, in looking at this series of numbers, all right, we know we started out with a 10. So we know A1 equals 10. So that's the number that we start in the series. We know the difference is -6. So now we have that. And we know our AN, since we're looking for the 10th term, then we know our AN is going to change to A to the 10th equals A1. And A1 is 10 plus N. And our N is 10, because that's our number, minus 1, and then D. And we said D is -6. All right, so I plugged in all my numbers. Here's my D. Here's my N minus 1 plus sign. Here's my A1. And then my A10. Because we were talking about the number 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9. Then we have -6. So -6 times 9 is -54. Then we bring everything else down. So now we have negative 54 plus 10, which gives us a negative 44. So our a to the 10th is negative 44. All right, so that's one example. Now, let's look at this example. And so we're going to find the 10th term. In doing so, and we're going to use these numbers: 5, 13, 21, 29, 37. The difference from 5 and 13 is 8. The difference from 13 to 21 is 8. 21 to 29 is 8. And 29 to 37 is 8. So we know our difference is 8. We know our A1, because that's the number that you start the sequence with, is 5. And we said we're going to go to the 10th term. So our AN equals 10. And we're ready for our formula. So our formula is AN equals A1 plus parentheses N minus 1 multiplied by D. All right, so let's go ahead and sub those numbers. We have 10, because we're going to do to the 10th term. Then we have A1, which is 5. We know our number is 10 minus 1. And we know our D is 8. So 10 minus 1 is 9. And we have our 8 plus 5. And it should say A to the 10th. So 9 times 8 is 72. 72 plus 5 is 77. So A to the 10th equals 77. All right, so kind of plugged all that in for you. We can use one more example, because on your page you only have two, I think. You only have 2 questions, so that's why I had to come up with other examples. And again, this is the section that talks about how you find numbers to the 10th term. So, you know what? Let's talk about our steps. So, the first thing we're going to do is identify the first term in a sequence. So, if you want to write these notes down, Number 2, determine the difference. Determine the common difference. Okay? And then on number 3, our third step is use the formula. Use the formula with to find the nth term, and whatever term that is. So, and we said our formula is a n equals a1 plus n minus 1, and then d, which is our difference. So if we try to knock this one out, we have negative 145 to negative 2.9, 2 and 9 tenths, which gives us a difference of 1.45. And then the difference here is 1.45, 1.45, and 1.45. All right, so we know our difference equals to 1.45. So that's our difference. Our A1 is negative 1.45. And we said we want to find the 21st term. So it's going to be A to the 21st equals A1, which is negative 1.45. Plus N, which is N is 21, minus 1, and D is 1.45. So we're going to calculate. That's 20, 1.45, multiply that together, 1.45. So 20 times 1.45 gives you 29. And then you have 29 plus 1.45. All right, and that will conclude our answer for A to the 21st power, which is